How's it going, Maryanne?
Hi, how are you?
We're great.
Oh, that's awesome. Welcome to What's My Scene and welcome to Australia. Did you just arrive?
We got here day before yesterday.
Oh, wow. You must be acclimatizing and getting ready. Have you had a show yet or have you yet to perform?
We had one show last night, and it went great. We're starting to get used to the time change.
I know. Look, I think it's worse coming from America to Australia than the other way around for some reason. It's just it's weird because you're skipping a day, so you have to sort of readjust really quickly, don't you?
It's been wild, but man, what a great place to land, and especially here for Bluesfest.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? The atmosphere is amazing. I went a few years ago now, but I can imagine it's just pumping there at the moment.
It is. It's a really cool festival.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now there's so many questions and so little time. That's the problem. But forget sibling rivalry. What I want to ask you about is sneaker rivalry, because every clip I see of you, one of you's wearing Vans and one's wearing Converse. So I want to know the story.
Well, the main story is that we have to be comfortable on stage so that we can run around. And so I started to wear my sneakers on stage, and Rebecca, I think, got a little jealous of me. Yeah, no, it's true. I have been a devotee of Doc Martens for years at this point, but I don't know. Once I hit my 30s and I was trying to lug around like 8 pounds of boot, I was like, I see Megan. She is footloose. She is fancy free in her Converse. But yet I couldn't go the Converse route because that was her thing.
It can't be matchy matchy.
So as the baby sister, I opted for the alternative, which is the entry level.
That's
Vans.
hilarious. Now, I've still got my Doc Martens from the first pair I bought in 1989. So they're lasting the distance, and I'm glad to see them come back around. Although you have to be a bit sad and angry to wear them these days, I think.
I would agree. They're less of a fashion statement and more of a lifestyle expression.
Exactly. They're a mood thing, aren't they? But the whole thing is about now, Rebecca, you've got the advantage in the Vans, I think, because they are lighter, slightly lighter than the good old Truck Tailors. But enough about that. I want to ask you about your new record. Now, the thing I love about it is that, it's just encapsulating a feeling as well as the actual sounds that you've got there, because you're referencing towns and places, and it's just really good how you can match the music and the lyrics to evoke that kind of reminiscing and emotion. Did it just come naturally that way, or did you have a specific goal in mind when you're writing the songs?
I love this question. And this is Rebecca as well. I do think it's been the work of years to not only delve deeper into our unique songwriting voice, but also being able to have a perspective on who we are as a band and where we are in space and time to allow all of the elements to come together into a cohesive whole. Being able to have at this point produced the last 4 or 5 of our records for our own record label. I think digging deep within and strengthening our own creative muscles with each consecutive project, it's really paved the way for us to reach this point where we are now with Blood Harmony, where I do think it's a really cohesive album, and I do think it speaks to all the things that make us, where we come from, the music that we grew up listening to, and the spirit and soul with which we make sound.
Yeah, and I really hear that in there. And you know, that even the title's really clever, like Blood Harmony, because there's nothing better than sibling harmonizing. I think that it's a unique thing that you can't recreate it. It's and then that whole thing about your guitars are actually a harmony within themselves, and so you top those things together, top and tail those things, and you've got a winning combination for our ears, I think.
Thank you. I think one of the most intriguing puzzle pieces that we have to work with are the fact that we have Rebecca's voice, my voice, the harmonies between our voices, but then also my lap steel, my slide guitar being more like a voice in itself as well. Mm-hmm. And then Rebecca's guitar, because we're a very riff-based band, so it's like all of these things have to be careful not to like run over each other. They kind of have to like work again in harmony with each other.
I know, and that's the thing. I mean, the beauty of it is the space too, because it's so easy and tempting to just go, oh wow, I've got 20 tracks and I'm going to use them. But you know, it's just being able to get that tasteful balance, and I think you've really captured that on Blood Harmony. And I think, you know, you can do all that in the studio, but to make it all come together live is another level again. And I haven't seen you live in person, but I've been watching a lot of your clips, and I'm looking forward to the show on Tuesday night at the Corner in Melbourne. What sort of things do you try and capture on the record that you do live? Do you ever record live, like in the studio?
Yeah, I think more and more that's become a focus for us because we're children of the early 90s and the late 80s, and for us when we were growing up, the record making scene was very much band in the box, nip and tuck, auto tune, comp everything together, basically turn recordings into like the Stepford Wives version of music of, no hair is out of place. But I think because we have spent so much time on the road, becoming comfortable with who we are as musicians and singers, and allowing that comfort to come into the studio with us, to just kind of let things lie as they are, that has been deceptively challenging because our education of record making is that of automaton, creation. But I think the older that we've gotten and the more records that we've made, the easier it has become to just let it all hang out, be who he is. And not to say that Blood Harmony is like we've reached the end goal, but I do think it's like a really important step in the journey, and certainly the closest that we've gotten to really letting our records truly sound like the unedited versions of ourselves.
Yeah, I really hear that. And I think by the same token, it sounds very considered and like a thoughtful production. Like the production is really, it sort of is that perfect blend of the live and studio tools that you have. And I think, that just comes from all, as you said, all the touring and the live experience that you have, that you can just whip up that essence and that sound and put it together so that you're using it to your advantage, and it really comes through, I think.
Thank you so much. It's so kind of you to say.
Oh, no worries. Now the other album I want to talk about just quickly is you were supposed to come here in 2021, wasn't it? So before that you had the album of covers that was that in 2018 or 2020? No, it was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2020. Yeah, Kindred Spirits.
Kindred Spirits, that's right. And you had a really interesting mix of covers, I've got to say. And they're just mixing the old and the new. And of course, you had an Allman Brothers one in there, which I'm not surprised about. And, everyone makes those comparisons. But as we were saying before, those harmonies in the guitars are the things that makes me think of the Allman Brothers. But what was your favourite song to cover? not only on that album, but ever?
Oh, well, the first one that kind of is popping into my head is one that we've done a little bit more recently, Winds of Change.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
Scorpions.
such a beautiful song. And I think we were both very emotional making that song. Like we both were crying over the just the emotion of the lyrics. So that's one that I really felt moved by.
Yeah, that one's on YouTube. Very, very beautiful, very moving song.
Oh, that's really interesting because I always love it when a metal band does a really heartfelt ballad, because you think, well, that's where they're really coming from in all their music. But it's just not as accessible to the mainstream until they do that. They bust out that ballad. But that's really interesting that you would choose that, because obviously it's an older song to you, because it was around when I was growing up. But for you guys, it's an old song.
We love, I mean, I think one of the best decades for music was the 60s and the 70s. It's just such a rich couple of decades for music.
Yeah, so to be able to have that inform what we do. And I think, we definitely learned a lot about, the kind of records that we want to make from digging through our parents' catalog of Fleetwood Mac and Black Sabbath and the Carpenters, and the list goes on and on. Our parents really had a wide range of albums available for us to kind of cherry pick from.
Oh my God, that's awesome. And I love the fact that when you do covers, you get, well, not that you're country, I would say blues rock more than country, but you get lumped in with all the Americana at the same time, but you don't change the genders, and that is awesome.
I have a feeling that if we lived in the same town, we would be really good friends.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the perspectives that you're bringing to the table. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's been really important to me as a singer, is to sing the songs as they are and to not change the gender. So I love that you bring that up.
Yeah, I think it's really important, because how else can you bring the feeling of the original songwriter without conjuring up that feeling that they must have had? And you can't do that if you change it too much, I don't reckon. Lyrically, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
That's really cool. So tell us about the shows in Melbourne. What can we expect on? You've got a sold out show on Monday at the Croxton Park Hotel, which is a reschedule, and then you've got the Corner Hotel, an extra show on Tuesday in Melbourne. What can we expect from the set?
You can expect a very high energy evening of music. We like to really bring it, and we play it loud. And then you're going to hear a lot of the songs from Blood Harmony, as well as a lot of older favorites.
Yeah, and now that we are unburdened on stage in sneakers, you're going to see us flying around.
Well, I'll
just a blur of sound,
kicking and spinning.
I'll be wearing sneakers. I think I might have to wear one of each, maybe.
Yes, we support this bipartisan approach.
Might throw me off balance, though. That's the only problem. But that's awesome. Well, I'm so glad. I'm really looking forward to hearing some of the new songs live, because, as I said, I've been listening to that album a lot and I really, really like it. And it must be hard, though, because you've got such an extensive back catalogue that, people who followed you all the way obviously want to hear your old songs, but do they get boring, or do you still dig deep and find something new in those older songs?
There's always something new to find. That's what's so surprising when you're engaged in the music from night to night. You can find something new every evening. Just playing the riffs in a different way. And also being able to connect with people in the audience. Like, music brings us together. It's really, really special. And we feel so thankful that people just take a moment out of their lives and spend it with us. It's really moving. And so we like to come to shows with that energy of really wanting to make special connections with the people that are there, and that is changing from night to night always.
Wow, I love that because it is, especially in this time after having all those lockdowns, and especially in Melbourne where I'm from, it's like we had probably the worst ones in the world, but it's so easy to go, oh, you know what, I'm home now and I don't know if I can be bothered going out, and just to be able to bring that energy back to the people and say, we love that you're here. That makes it special. And I think music fans, make it all happen for any performers, and it has to be an exchange of energy, doesn't it?
Oh yes,
100%.
I love that, because people don't realize how much control they have over the show that they're going to get. Like, it's an exchange of energy for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully you can preserve some energy between now and your next show, and I won't keep you too much longer because I know you're on a strict schedule there, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the show, and I know everyone in Melbourne who's got tickets is looking forward to it, and I think there are still a few left to get, but I really appreciate you taking time out to have a chat. It's been great talking with you guys.
It's been so great talking with you. Looking forward to meeting you. Please do come up and say hello.
I will, if I can get past your entourage. I will.
Yeah, we'll definitely find a way to shake your hand. Just let the publicist know and we'll arrange it, because it'd be lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it'd be great to meet you too. And I've really enjoyed the chat. It's good. I hope it hasn't been too taxing after your big show yesterday, and you got another one.
Not at all. We're up and at 'em. We're up and at 'em. We're gonna have a good time today.
Oh, that's good. So you're in Byron, you can go for a swim.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're playing at 10:30 tonight, and that's gonna be that's the hardest thing, is just waiting to play.
Oh my God. The thing is, you get paid for waiting around. You don't get paid for the actual playing part.
Exactly.
It's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a good rest of the day, and have an awesome show tonight. And yeah.
Thank you. Okie dokie. We'll see you on Tuesday.
All right. See you later. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.